we'll see the winners of 3 straight, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the 21st ranked team in the land, the South Carolina Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Gamecocks will kick it away to start us off. And here's the return. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Alabama's offense going to get the chance to start this game off. And what a performance. An aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, Dave.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense, and you really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he really earned his offensive coordinator's trust after that performance. So I'm anticipating the playbook to expand a little bit in this game. Maybe see some new schemes in the passing game just based on what this guy was able to do the last time he took the field.
Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. That's caught. It's Rodgers. And he converts on 3rd down as he gets it out to the 26.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the 1st down marker was. I got to go get that 1st down. Did a nice job.
Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Oh, it's a fumble. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
Well, this guy has just been Johnny on the spot. Last week he had 2 fumble recoveries, and here he is again in this game, locating the ball after it comes loose and hopping on it for his defense.
Off the play fake on 1st down, the throw. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. When you play at a place like Alabama, you have to live up to the legacy of the Jonathan Allens, the Deron Paynes, the Marcel Dariuses when you play on that defensive front.
And the funny thing is, Reese, I can keep going. Quentin Williams, Will Anderson, like the list goes on and on and on. Just elite-level recruiting on the defensive line, on the edge, is how they built this dynasty at Alabama.
Sends it back in motion. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And the Gamecocks will bring the punt team onto the field. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. Make sure that there's not going to be a return on this one. Ball's out of bounds, and I think they'll mark it right around the 25. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. Ball security always paramount. That football must be riveted to your rib cage, Jeff. Turning it on! Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
We love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Back to pass. Fires to the wideout. Fires it incomplete.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
Trying to make magic on the scramble. He'll get it up to the 39 before he's run out of bounds, and this offense just patiently, methodically trying to do work. The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. Wants to throw on 1st down. Going deep. He's got it at the 25. They make the stop, but a big pickup thanks to the big arm from this senior quarterback.
Really nice play getting that 1st down. And listen, I know when a lot of people think about the Crimson Tide recently, they think about the success they've had at the quarterback position. A big reason why, though, those guys have been playing so well, they're throwing the NFL talent all over the field. And this dude right here, he could be the next first-round pick at the wide receiver position from Bama.
Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19.
Well, this is a quarterback who has outstanding running ability, and he's hoping the defense is going to give him an opportunity to tuck this football and get upfield, but there was nothing there. You saw him that time. Hold on to it, hold, hoping someone on defense was going to get out of position, but nobody did. Really nice job by the defense that time. Playing assignment football against the option, and everybody staying home.
Big third down in the red zone, and this crowd is getting behind this defense. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
Those are those opportunities in the game. You got a chance to take points off the board, make a big play, and you just couldn't squeeze the interception. That's one of those plays coaches come back to, talk about, say, think if we get this pick and we start taking this the other direction and we take points off of the scoreboard.
He wants to change this route. On fourth down, trying to find his man. Quick strike complete. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
And they'll get him down inside the 5, but this offense powering toward a score. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Touchdown tie! And they have the first points of the game. Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one.
And that's why this running back is so dangerous. It's not just handing him off the football, but he's a weapon in the passing game. You see his ability to catch it, turn upfield, make people miss, and find the end zone.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. The Gamecocks line up to punt it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Hauls it in at the 40. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. The offense changing the play. Looking to throw on 1st down. With the catch, it's Collier. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He'll ride his man on the option. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. He's forced out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4, and they save the touchdown, at least for now.
And that is picture perfect by this quarterback. Nice job running the option, seeing he's not covered. Nobody's taking him. They didn't play that responsibility, and he chews up yards and makes the huge play.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and hand him the ball.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Looking to fire. Trying to find the end zone. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that.
the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
Calls his own number. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big third down stop by this defense. And it's no good. He missed it. And the margin remains at 7 after the miss. One final play before the end of the quarter. Give to the back. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played one period. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. The give to the tailback. Snowed under right at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking to pass. It's Gardner. Blasted as he lets it go. And it's incomplete on 3rd down. And the Gamecocks will send out the punt unit. He's got it. Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. Here comes that Alabama offense. A bit frustrating to miss that short field goal the last time they had it, but this time around, see if they can redeem themselves. Fires to the big fella. Stopped at the 47-yard line, a 10-yard gain, and they'll move the markers. These routes have some reads and adaptability built in, and the big fella found that cushion and made the play.
Man, it's so awesome how much offenses have evolved. They know exactly what they're getting, where to sit down, quarterback, tight end, on the same page, gets the first down.
So now it's 2nd and long. Quarterback making checks. 2nd and 10, he'll throw again. He put it out there for him, and this senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Wants to throw again. Makes the catch. It's Knox. Oh, he's got some space. Shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, and this offense is doing work. This Alabama offense is clicking. They're set up with another first down. From the red zone, looking for a man. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds and just on to the next down.
That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. The Tide will get the first down.
And how about the awareness by this guy on 3rd down, a scramble play. Everything's breaking down, but he never panics and also knows exactly where he needs to get to pick up that first down. It's 3rd. I can't slide early. I can't run out of bounds. I'm probably going to have to put my body on the line here and take a big hit and risk that to get this first. That's a big-time leadership play by the quarterback.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Into the end zone. And he wanted to get the score right there, but it falls incomplete. On 3rd and goal, you can't hear yourself thinking here. From the gun, wants to pass. He's missed 3 in a row now with that last incompletion.
And you knew he was going to take a step back because you can't throw the ball for over 80% a season. Like, that's ridiculous. Last week he was on fire, but this week, man, he's freezing cold, and he's got to find something to get this offense going. But right now, just off target. Somebody needs to step up, make a play, and maybe get a spark for this offense.
The Gamecocks buried deep in their own territory, just trying to find breathing room on first down. Looking downfield, it's Gardner. Completes it in the middle. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down. Last completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Off the play fake on first down to throw. He's got an open man. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. Throws toward the end zone. And good coverage there to knock it away and deny the score. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Throws for the tight end. And the DB right with him to knock it away.
Really good coverage by the DB there, and an even a better job of locating the football and then knocking it away.
They were on the move, but 2 straight incompletions had them staring at 3rd and 10. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. Misses again. It's incomplete, and that's 3 in a row. And the Gamecocks decide to punt it away. Going to make sure he doesn't get a return on this one as the punt bounces out of bounds. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. On that last drive, 4th and goal didn't exactly work out. They really need to pay it off this time, Jesse.
And they were so anxious and eager to get back on the field. They know they left points on the board. They let that one get away from them. They look like they are pumped up and ready to go here, Dave.
And listen, it was a good drive, so you got to remember that. But they got to realize, I got to get points. When I get in those areas, I got to capitalize. And they wanted a touchdown last time. This drive, they can go make it happen.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
They'll snap this one from the 32. It's first down. They'll leave it with him. There he goes. Got the first down. Looking for more. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32. You count up those explosive plays in a game, and you put a little extra star by the big runs.
Yeah, and this running back is a weapon, boy. He is so good in space. He's got shiftiness. He can make guys miss. And if this guy gets into the 2nd level, watch out. He can hit a home run.
Here comes the heat. Snagged on the outside. It's Rogers. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on 2nd down. Hauls it in. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Pulls and throws off the RPO. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get into your playmaker. A lot of times they'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Snags it, and he will score. The question now, will it count as we check out the laundry on the field? So the O-lineman got a little too far downfield. It wipes out the touchdown, and they'll back it up 5. Now on 2nd down. Back to pass. Oh, he makes the catch. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. 3rd down. Red zone play. Well alive. Grab near the marker. It's Edwards. And he will score! Touchdown, Alabama! Look, it's still early, but we have some real distance being put on the scoreboard right now.
You do. It's early, but you got to find something positive. Right now, everything going in the other direction. So how are you going to respond when you've been hitting the mouth early in this football game? Got to find something positive quick.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
To throw, it's Gardner. He put it out there for him, and this senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
The Gamecocks will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Sometimes avoiding disaster is the best thing. The punter just gets it out of there. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Got his man quickly. And they knock him down. There was nowhere to go. Defense is swarming.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark. As the rooster crows, they are getting cocky and cockier on 3rd down here.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
They'll immediately call timeout. Alabama comes to the line with 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Fires left. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball raining out of bounds.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. He's going to take off. Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. 3rd down play from the gun. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
They're throwing for it on 4th down. Under fire. Can't make the catch, and the defense will force the turnover on downs.
That is great job by this defense, coming up big on 4th down when it matters the most. You could tell they were dialed in. They knew they were going to throw the football. The defense was locked in on the quarterback. Great job defending the pass, forcing the incompletion on 4th down.
We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, you've been calling a lively one so far from there in Columbia. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today.
He's got great speed. He steps out of bounds across the 30 at the 33-yard line. Nice work there by the return team. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half, so now you're down. I got to maximize every single one, put your best plays together, start this drive off on a good note.
Yeah, it starts right here. Obviously, you can't get it all back on this drive, but you can create that momentum. You can create something special and some energy, but it's going to start with this offense here executing at a high level.
Pocket breaking down. Here comes the rush, and they've got it wrapped up at the 28. And it is hardly a big surprise that this Alabama defense is hitting hard and making their presence felt in the backfield.
Yeah, it's what they built their brand on. They built it on physicality and stopping the run, and you've seen over the last several years, too. After they do that, they come after your quarterback, and they try to get that sucker on the ground.
Finds the tight end. Stop is made at the 35-yard line. It'll be a 4th down. And the Gamecocks will call on their punt team. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. Here's the return. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Here comes that Alabama offense. They'll try the run. Breaks into the open. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Yeah, and a really nice job by the QB seeing. Linebackers are a little bit soft playing pass. Give the route. Hand it off. Let the running back do the rest.
Quick touch pass to the receiver. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal blocking back.
A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. On first down, here comes this offense. Wants to go up top. It's caught. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Offense in a bunch formation. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Caught over the middle. It's Knox. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. The run from the shotgun. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Looking to fire. That's caught. It's not. Turning it on. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down your field.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Rushes on him. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
This offense trying to quieten the crowd on 1st and goal, and they are not cooperating. Now on the move. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Bama! They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10.
And I tell you what, Reese, I'm not picking a team unless I got a guy that can do something like this at the quarterback spot. I need an athlete. I need a little bit of mobility. It just dictates too much to the defense. QB runs in for 6.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. They're looking at a 21-point hole. There's still time to do some work, but there's also no time to waste. He'll keep it himself. Good vision and determination there to find his way up to the 23.
You know, this zone replay is something they rep over and over and over in practice. This guy can run it and execute it in his sleep. Good decision there keeping the football.
Not a lot of room, but found his way ahead for 2 out to the 26.
And that run really didn't go anywhere, and a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Here's a heat. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. The Gamecocks will punt this one away. He'll try to really get into this one. Makes the catch at the 30. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. There have been few obstacles for this offense as they are starting to pull away here in the second half, Jesse.
And this has been a dream game for this play caller too, right? It's like anything that he's calling is working flawlessly.
Yeah, it's fun to be the offensive coordinator, but not the defensive coordinator. They have had no answers. It's been an absolutely miserable day trying to solve the riddle of this offense.
Alabama comes to the line on 3rd and short. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And that's what I love about this offense, man. They run the football and get first downs. They throw the football and get first downs. So much balance. That's why they're the number 2 offense in all of college football getting first downs. They are so hard to defend.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They feed him again.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. Quarterback may change this route. Dumps it to the back. There were serious revolutions on that 3rd down pass, but it's incomplete. And here comes the punt team. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Sends his first one of the day on its way, and that matches the number of appearances he had in that win last week.
You know, the worst thing that can happen to return men is muffing punts, fumbling it, putting on the ground, and he did it right there. He's very lucky he was able to jump on his own fumble.
Opening play of this drive comes from the 11. On the move. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
I got to be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. Chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. They'll send the back in motion. Back to pass, it's Gardner. Buys a little time. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
Man, you could tell this offense is frustrated, giving up another sack, and they're out of sync, out of sorts. They're just not used to this. This trigger man's usually good. This offense is usually good. They've had a day they would love to forget.
Looking deep down the right side. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. And the Gamecocks will line up to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this as a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for the position to get points right away. Now, let's get this offense back rolling again, create some momentum, just get a few first downs, and I'm in scoring position.
Now the toss. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And that just looked off. The timing, the rhythm, I don't know what it was, but usually that option, man, it's so precise, right? Like really quickly making a read, and you could tell they weren't on the same page. It went absolutely nowhere. Defense won that rep.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place, and that time they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
And that might be the edge of his range, but he had just enough. And now the lead is extended a little further.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we're looking pretty good.
And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. To the air, it's Gardner. He'll loft one deep down the left side. He's got it on the outside. And they'll bring him down after the long completion, a chunk play for the offense. They don't seem interested in inching the ball down the field. That big play sets him up. First, going for it all. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it. But you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again on that last deep.
And here's a fumble way behind the line. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes. Racing to the right. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. How about this defense taking one back to the house? They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win.
Man, defenses are always trying to force turnovers to get the ball back to their offense, make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover, the pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
Let's see what he can do with the return. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week. They've avoided the interception all day, but they're lucky to get that one back here late. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. To the air, it's Gardner. He put it out there for him, and this senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, They haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
I know this defense came into this game hoping to get pressure on the quarterback, but I don't know in their wildest dreams if they ever thought it was going to look this good. I lost track at 5 sacks. They have been all over this quarterback today.
Second down, they'll go to the air. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
They'll throw it to the back on the screen. On the move at the 30. It's a seam wide open at the 30. Seizing that open space, an opportunity all the way inside the red zone. They'll mark it at the 19. They almost went end to end and housed it. Now a chance to stick it in the end zone. 1st and 10 from the red zone. Takes the handoff. It stops. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Gamecocks. In a lot of losses, you just want to burn the tape. You don't want to watch it. But I think there are some things that they can take into next week from this performance.
No doubt. Offense is about finding your rhythm, finding your groove, what you do well. And you can tell, at least now, starting to get a little something going that maybe you can build on.
Here comes that Alabama offense. You want to talk about having a weapon to bail out a drive? David, that's why kickers are so important after that long field goal.
And listen.
Oh, he's got some space. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
Well, that's called paying off good field position. You've got the lead here late in the game. You've got the ball back. You're on your opponent's side of the 50, and on your very first play, you break off a long run. This defense right now is playing on their heels late.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with eye discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football. And you saw guys play with excellent instinct, running downhill and making a tackle.
He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game. Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. Quarterback making adjustments. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Looking left. Hits the open man. This senior shows some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down. Alabama trying to cash in on this red zone trip. Got his man. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical. They're too fast. They force a negative play.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Snagged in the middle. It's Collier. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal.
I don't know if they're trying to get this guy Heisman consideration, but the fact that they're still throwing the ball at this point of the game with a lead like they have is surprising, I gotta be honest.
They want to run this quarterback. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
And he takes this from inside the 5. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They cashed in on a short field last time they had it, and now they'll go to work from their own end. The give to the back. Shakes off the defender. After that one, not quite so backed up as they're up to the 18-yard line.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Handoff from the gun. just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling there out to the 35.
Yeah, and a nice big pickup on the ground. Palmer could have used some of this earlier in the game. Are you calling runs at this point?
No, I'd be a little bit more aggressive, I think, throwing it. I think part of it right now is because the defense, they've got the lead big. They're just playing a little bit more zone, a little bit more prevent.
There he goes! And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. The Gamecocks can really attack on this 2nd and short. Looking for room, it's Combs. At the 45 on his way. Smashes through the tackle. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize, if you will.
Well, it's a nice job there executing the run play and getting in for the score, but you got to wonder, guys, is it too little, too late? They're still trailing by a ton here in the 4th quarter.
The deficit is huge. This one is all but over, but they'll keep trying and line up for the onside kick.
The hands team on the receiving unit has got to do a better job. You've got to make sure you end up with the football.
South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. It has been a rather forgettable day that's finally coming to a close, David.
Yeah, it's been an awful day. I mean, just not functioning well on offense, defense giving up a lot of points. This is a day, Palmer, they'll like to forget.
Yeah, you're going to find out a lot about their character right now. Obviously, not what they hoped this would be, and that's demoralizing for a lot of these kids that have worked really hard in practice all week. But at this point here, you're just trying to prove to your coaching staff that you're not going to quit.
Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game.
Unloads to the wideout. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
Well, that's another completion. This quarterback's on fire. I get it. He's thrown for over 200 yards in this game, but it's because he's got people helping him out. How about that incredible job diving out, stretching out, and hauling that pass in? Quarterbacks love it when they don't have to be perfect every time they throw the football. And this group of receivers, they are helping out their QB1.
The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. And the Gamecocks come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Dropping back, it's Gardner. Oh, man, he almost picked that one off in the end zone. Instead, it'll be 3rd down.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the 4th quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Quarterback extends the play. Breaks into the open. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the 1st down, and he slides in safely. The Gamecocks come to the line with a new set of downs. To the air on 1st down. Throws toward the end zone. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
At this point in the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here, because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
They needed a big play, and they got it, and the foot down for the 1st down. And the Gamecocks are threatening in the red zone. Looking to throw on 1st down. Oh, they're after him. Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly. Didn't have much of a choice there but to get rid of it.
And that's kind of how their day's gone, right? Like, they haven't protected their guy up front, and that's why they haven't been explosive and scored a bunch of points, man. Position number 1 for every offense. Like, if we're going to throw, we got to protect him. And just right there, he gets hit again. He's been sacked several times. Like, this offensive line's got to do a better job.
What a play by the defender there, guys. In his own end zone, the offense has taken a shot, and if that defender was just one step behind, that would have been a touchdown. But the hit forces the incompletion.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Touchdown, South Carolina! Quick strike. strike through the air for the score.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Looking for a man. It's Gardner. Pressure coming. And the quarterback goes down, but there is a penalty flag down, and I think the offense is going to pick up the first down. The defense was offside. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Oh, and he gets the ball back. Lucky to do so. Guess it could have been worse. The offense uses a timeout. 20 ticks remaining. Oh, they are breathing a sigh of relief after that recovered fumble. To the air on second down. Fires to the wideout. Can't connect on his first throw.
And that's one the offense just needs to be able to hit, right? That's a completion they should be able to hit in their sleep. Receivers got to do a better job.
The Crimson Tide a long, long way from the line to gain here on third down. Looking to throw. Fires toward the target. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go. They bring the punter onto the field now. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Signals for the fair catch and looks it in at the 40. After this, it'll be a wrap. DBs will try to keep everything in front. Wants to throw on first down. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. And he is brought to the ground, and that's how we'll wrap this one up.